Hi everyone, Alchemist here. I want to thank you for your subscriptions, for your likes, for your comments. It means a lot to me. And today I'm going to talk about a subject that many have been requesting. And it is Lucifer. Who is Lucifer? What's his origin? And what is this phenomenon that's attached to Lucifer? Around the world, he's been demonized, and again, here the word demonized is used in a negative connotation because of what have happened in history. And I address this more in my previous or other videos that you can find on this channel, where I explain the origin of the word demon, the etymology, and why it has been misinterpreted, twisted, and used for controlling people. A little reminder, the word demon simply means a supernatural, divine, spiritual deity or being. That's what the Greeks, the ancient Greeks, that's what they used to call any supernatural being. The concept of archangel or angel didn't exist. Everyone was a demon, everyone was a daimon. And I address this in my other videos. And Lucifer was one of the daimons. He was one of the supernatural beings. He was the highest ranking one alongside with Michael. They were both working for this other supervisor being God, what people refer to as God on earth. But just to clarify that there was to give you a little background before I move on to explaining what Lucifer is or who he is, I have to give you something to work with. So this is not going to be explained from a religious standpoint. This is going to be based on my research and based on the occult work that I do. So there was hundreds of thousands of years ago, there was a race that have landed on Earth. They came from somewhere else. It doesn't matter where they came from another planet, from another dimension, from the future, but they came on Earth. They were very advanced. They were led by this one boss. He's a boss, as above, so below. How it works here for us works the same for them. They were led by this boss, and this one boss is many around the world call God. In the Sumerian religion, this race was called the Anunnaki, and this one god or one boss was called An. He was the ultimate god. And this supervisor had his workers. They were commanders, they were generals, and the highest ranking general or commander that was working for this one god was Lucifer. He was the highest ranking commander. He was very powerful, almost as powerful as the boss, if not more powerful than the boss, than God. Because otherwise if he rebelled, how could he rebel? If you think about it logically, just use your mind and think about it. If he could rebel, that means he was very powerful. If he was able to just leave and do his own thing, that means even this God, this ultimate one thing, couldn't do anything against him, right? Just think logically about him. Because if they were enemies, this one God, this one being, he would have either imprisoned him or killed him or stopped him, but he couldn't. He told him, okay, fine, you don't want to be here, go do your own thing. He didn't clash with him because Lucifer is as powerful as God. And when I don't like you to use this word God, but I'm just using it because it's how you, the viewer, will understand me better. That's the only way. So I'm gonna keep using this word God, but think of it as the boss, the big boss, okay? So this big boss had his workers, and at some point, they lived on Earth for hundreds of thousands of years. And at some point, and that's, by the way, the chunk of history that we don't know and no one knows. But at some point, they decided to create humans, the human race. At some point, they decided to create this human race, and because of this creation, because they decided to create the human race, there was a big clash between these commanders or these generals between the gods, as how we see it in as many pantheons, in the Egyptian pantheon, in the Greek pantheon, in the Sumerian pantheon with the Anunnaki. The gods clashed, all of them. They used to clash, they used to argue, and it was mainly because of the human race that was created by them. Now in Sumeria we have the Anunnaki that states that the two brothers were the main highest ranking commanders, Enki and Enlil, working for An. An is the supreme boss or the god. We could give the interpretation here as Enki was Lucifer, Enlil was Archangel Michael, if you will. Enki created humans. According to the Sumerian religion, Enki was supervised of creating humans. But before they got to creating humans, the first human being that they created, which is Adam, before they got there, they did many experiments, and they created many other creatures, monsters, some chimeras, mythical beings, like many of these legends where you hear these beings that don't make sense to us, like werewolves, like mermaids and mermaids and nymphs, and all of these fantasy creatures. And some of them are benevolent, some of them are malevolent, some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are just monsters. But we've heard of them throughout history. In the Sumerian religion, they said that before the first human was created, many other beings were created and roamed on earth before the Adam was created. Lilith, for fact, was created before Adam. Lilith was actually the first human that was created, but she had supernatural beings. They created her powerful. She was more of a demon, more of a daimon, more of a supernatural divine deity. And they're like, no, this is too much. We need to create some other race that's not as advanced. And they didn't. And then they created Adam. So this supernatural divine gods that many religions talk across the globe, when they created humans, there was a separation happened. Those who wanted to be with humans and wanted to thrive with humans, hence fallen angels. Christianity talks about this. They even said the fallen angels came and mate with human females, and they gave birth to Nephilims, or these giants, or these demigods, half human, half gods. So there was a separation. There was separation between these gods. Once if we go to the Sumerian religion, we have An, who was supervising Enlil and Enki. We have the clash between Enki and Enlil. Enki, who created humans, wanted to help humans. He wanted them to thrive. And Enlil, the brother, wanted to destroy humans, and he caused the flood that we hear about again all across the cultures, the flood of Atlantis, the flood of Noah. Enlil, in the Sumerian religion, it is mentioned that Enlil himself triggered the flood to get rid of humans because he just hated humans. So if we take this concept and apply it to Christianity or monotheistic religions, we're gonna find this coincides with the time when God created humans, and then Lucifer clashed with God. But there has been a lot of change and misinformation. Lucifer is also known as the bringer of light. He's the bringer of light. We can associate this with Prometheus, with the Greeks. He's the bringer of fire, the bringer of light. He's the one who taught humans. Prometheus was the one who taught humans how to create fire. Because with fire you can have warmth, and with warmth you can survive longer. You can cook, you can eat, you can nourish yourself, you can expand, you can create light. If you put a fire on the wood and make it as a torch, you can see at night. you can evolve as a human being. So Lucifer or Prometheus is the bringer of light. It's the one who showed fire to humans. Lucifer is also the bringer of light because he's known as the morning star. He's the morning star. What's the morning star? The morning star is the sun. The morning star is the sun. It's fire. It's the sun. It's the light. He's the one who was trying to help humans and not the other way around. God wanted to get rid of humans. This ultimate being. He's the one who wanted to get rid of humans. But Lucifer is the one who wanted to help them thrive. That's why he's the morning star. That's why he's the bringer of light. The morning star is the sun. And this corresponds with Jesus being the Son of God. S-U-N, Son. You can hear it however you want. This is the language of the birds in alchemy. S-U-N, S-O-N, Son of God, Son of God. He's the Son, the bringer of light. The one who shows the path. In monotheistic religions, we find that the serpent, Lucifer, is associated with a snake, with a serpent. He's the one who went to Eve and lured Adam and Eve into eating from the fruit of knowledge. Now let's think about it logically. I want you to remove any baggage, any religious baggage you carry with you, and just use your mind as I'm speaking. Just use your mind. A snake, okay, is always associated with magic and wisdom. In alchemy, it's the symbol of wisdom, of the hidden, of magic. Even in ancient Egypt, all magicians used snakes as a reference to magic, as the reference of the spirit realm, of the unseen. So in monotheistic religions, we have the snake going to Adam and Eve. Therefore, we're talking about wisdom, going to Adam and Eve and inciting them to eat from the fruit or the tree of knowledge, the fruit of knowledge, the fruit I keep calling it the fruit of knowledge because it's probably what it is, because when I channel information, whatever comes through me is probably the right thing when I'm not thinking about it, when I'm just channeling it based on what I know. That fruit, it's called the forbidden fruit. What's forbidden is usually hidden, and what's hidden is usually occult, and the occult is knowledge, and knowledge gives you wisdom. You see the connection? The forbidden fruit equals the fruit of knowledge, the fruit of wisdom, the hidden fruit. So if the snake or Lucifer, the bringer of light, went to Adam and Eve, these poor living slaves, these human slaves that don't know anything, they're like two dumb little creatures that are just tending in the gardens of gods. They're probably just working there, and they're used for slavery. What kind of slavery? I'll let you imagine. Humans know that very well. In human history, we're very accustomed with the concept of slavery. So if we know how to do that, don't you think the gods know how to do that? So for whatever reason this Adam and Eve were created, they were there slaving the gods, and Lucifer or Enki or the serpent, whatever you want to call it, or Prometheus, and other cultures refer to him in different names, he went and showed them the way, the fruit of knowledge, the forbidden fruit. Eat from this. This is metaphorical. He was basically showing them how to become aware, how to become conscious, how to live with freedom, with independence, something that humans still struggle with nowadays. He was trying to set them free outside of the matrix, as many new age people like to call it, matrix this, matrix that, matrix this, matrix that, although everything is a matrix. You think you're gonna go out of a matrix, you're gonna find yourself in another matrix. So this is another delusional concept. I mean, I love the movie The Matrix, but even the movie itself portrays that when you get outside of the matrix, it's just another matrix. If you actually dig deeper into the philosophy behind the movie The Matrix, you find out that everywhere is a matrix. Everywhere. So anyway, Lucifer or the serpent was trying to show them how to be free, how to be conscious, how to be aware, how to become who they really are, how to acknowledge their existence beyond slavery. He was showing them that. And when he tried to show them that, the gods were furious. Oh, they were just mad. They were angry. The big boss, God himself, and then some other ones that were with the boss. They were furious because they hated humans. They're like, how dare these like minuscule like little creatures that don't mean anything, how come you tell them about awareness, about freedom, about independence? How dare you, you know? And that's when the separation happened. And Lucifer was like, I don't agree. I think these humans have the right to live like us and have the right to do anything they want just like us and have the right to learn and to have knowledge and wisdom just like us. How come they don't have it? Why are we enslaving them? And then he clashed with the gods. God told him, get out of here. Lucifer was like, oh really? You sure? Okay, sure, I'm gonna get out of here. Who's with me? One of the first people that followed him was Lilith, Asmodeus, and this was written in some scriptures in the past, in ancient past. You can find these in scriptures, but these scriptures are hidden and they're no one knows about them. And many of the other demons that people label as demons nowadays followed him, but they were all part of the same group. We have monotheistic religions said the third followed Lucifer, the third, and 3 is the number of mastery. The third of these supernatural deities or commanders, let's call them, they decided to follow Lucifer, and many of them were these demons that you hear about everywhere, like Beelzebub and Baal and Asmodeus and Lilith. Many of them followed Lucifer and they went on earth. They're also the fallen angels, fallen as in like they separated from the group, from the other group that had the main god and that had Archangel Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and all of the other side that didn't like humans. And they went on earth and they did their own thing and they mated with humans because they loved humans. The other group that stayed with the main boss, they never mated with humans, they never mixed with humans, they always stayed higher. They eventually triggered the flood. They wanted to get rid of humans. But the fallen angels, the group with Lucifer, they're the ones who decided to mix with humans. And that's why humans now, us, have mixed genes with these gods. We have mixed genes. That's why you find sometimes people who are so tall and sometimes people who look very different and sometimes people who have some abilities like us, like the seers, the witches, the mages. Where do you think we get these abilities from? It's because when the gods created the first human, they took all of these abilities from the DNA. That's why it's called junk DNA. It's all of this ability to become godlike, to manifest from thin air, to control fire, to control water, to control the elements, to teleport, to become invisible, and so on and so forth. They removed it from the DNA. That's why there's this huge chunk that scientists call junk DNA. It's not junk DNA, it's just was deactivated by the people who created humans. Because the gods, they have this already activated in them. And by mixing the fallen angels, these gods, and Lucifer, by mixing with humans, some humans had that junk DNA activated, just some. And that's why humans have become so diverse and multicultural, because of the mixture that has happened with these gods and the humans. And this is noted especially in the Sumerian religion with the Anunnaki. You can find this information there. And there's even the mention of the story of Noah. In the Sumerians called him Ziusudra, where Enki tells Ziusudra, he tells him to basically build this boat and gather all of the people, because the other god Enlil is gonna trigger a flood and everyone's gonna die. So it was not the main god who talked to Noah, it was Enki, and Enki is Lucifer, the bringer of light. It was Lucifer. He was the one helping humans all along. And this is the misconception that happened with Lucifer. But why? Why has he become the devil or the demon or the Satan that everyone is talking about? That's because of monotheistic religions. When the Romans took over, this starts in the Roman period. When the Romans took over and they wanted to make a religion that they can use to control humans, because they're like, we need something to control humans. And this is happening nowadays, maybe not with religion anymore, but maybe with different means like corporations and money and finance system. But back then it was religion. They were like, let's use religion to control humans. But we're gonna write anything we want. So they took all of the information, all of the knowledge, everything that has actually happened, and they wrote something from scratch, completely different, and they wrote whatever they wanted there, whatever they wanted. Hence why they demonized or made Lucifer as a bad being, someone that's bad, something that you should fear. They created all sorts of confusion and using different words and mixing different terms that don't make any sense. Lucifer, Satan, the devil. Satan, if anything, is just ancient Hebrew for obstacle. So when they gathered all this information and they try to put it together, they're like, well, Lucifer was an obstacle for God because he clashed with him or he didn't agree with him, so he's Satan, he's an obstacle, so we're gonna call him Satan. And there was this like misinformation all over the place. Hence why no one knows nowadays what's the nature of this Satan or Lucifer or devil, but they were all the same thing. And this monotheistic religion was created to control humans, to put fear into humans. Lucifer, he was one of the most powerful deities that ever existed. He's from fire. He was created from fire. That's why we should learn to love fire. He's the morning star, the sun. He's Prometheus, the bringer of lights, the bringer of fire. He's made out of fire. He shows the way, he lights up the way because he is fire, he's the sun. So we need to learn to love fire, appreciate it, not be scared of it. And religious dogma made people scared of fire. That's why they created the concept of heaven and hell, which is also that doesn't exist. Heaven and hell just so you're scared, and hell of course is made out of fire. So you don't think of learning about fire or approaching it, or Lucifer, because he's fire, he's made out of fire. So they made sure that humans are gonna be scared of this hell, so they become obedient. So if you don't pray to the priest, you're gonna go to fire, to the one God. We're gonna send you to hell, and hell is made of fire. And that's how people become fearful, because they think that there's something out there that's gonna burn them alive after they die. So all of these concepts of heaven and hell were added in there, and so many things. Like, I would say only 2% of what religious dogma mentioned is actually true, and everything else is manipulated and twisted. So it's all doesn't make sense, or it would make sense to the people who created it for control, if that makes sense. Reincarnation. The concept of reincarnation was also removed. Anything basically to keep humans obedient, to obey and abide by the rules. And if you don't do this, if you don't do that, you're gonna go to hell, and hell is fire, you know? And that's why everyone is scared of fire. And that's why everyone is scared of hell. So everything that's been told to us, everything that's been taught, whatever we're told to do or we're told to believe since a young age, it's usually the opposite. Lucifer, we're taught that he's the worst thing out there. He's actually one of the best things out there, because maybe Without him, humans wouldn't have even thrived. Fire, it's a beautiful thing. We need to learn about it. We need to speak to it. It's alive. It's one of the most vital elements for life. Without it, we can't exist. And one last thing I'm going to add about Lucifer. One last thing. Lucifer, when he decided to do his own thing after the clash that happened between the other gods, when he decided to do his own thing, it is said that he came on Earth. When he landed on Earth with his followers, he had an emerald stone on his forehead. An emerald stone, and it's green. And he removed it from his forehead and he left it on Earth for whoever can find it, because this emerald stone holds the secrets of the universe, holds the knowledge and the secrets of the universe. And this coincides, interestingly, with the Emerald Tablet, which is also called the Emerald Tablet. Not any other kind of stone, it's the Emerald Tablet. Again, emerald, green, by Hermes Trismegistus. So you see the dots that I'm connecting here. So Lucifer was trying to teach this occult knowledge to the world, to humans, so they become more aware, so they become aware of their power, so they can embrace their darkness, so they can become just like gods. And the color of the occults, the color of the hidden, is emerald. It's green. That's why the Emerald Tablet of Hermes Trismegistus holds the knowledge of the universe is green. That's the color of the secrets and the wisdom that most people don't know. So making these connections is very interesting. How Lucifer left this emerald stone on Earth, and then we have the Emerald Tablet. That's why even fire sometimes gives this green hue. If you notice, if we see, for example, a flame, you're gonna usually see like a little bit of blue and yellow and orange. Usually, it's there. But then what sometimes you see in the fire is that green hue, because that's the hidden, and it only shows up sometimes. So Lucifer always wanted humans to have the knowledge, to have the secrets, to become aware, just like the gods. That's why he left his emerald stone on Earth for whoever finds it, and take advantage of it and learn from it. But unfortunately, this knowledge has been manipulated and it's resurfacing again. I'm here to share it with you. Many other people are here to share it again, because I think we all deserve to know the truth. We all deserve to know what actually happened, what really, really happened. And this is what I have about Lucifer, the bringer of light, the morning star, the serpent of wisdom that showed the first humans how to become free.